Hello, current and future minions. I am your Overlord, Rex Silvermoon. I have heard your cries for a guide to lead you to rule this world no matter your circumstances, or rather, your world as it may be. I can do you one better. I will give you a beginner and advanced guide for any possible position. All you need is a method of time travel, a hunger for conquest, immortality, and a willingness to give me your soul. Now for a friendly PSA. This is the advanced guide. There is a beginner guide for those who are weak. I mean, newer players. Sub 1,000 hours. Whether or not you watch this guide, you should watch that one. Also, there is a basic list of the strategies employed here in the description below, for your ease of reference. Thank you. Now, let us begin. Start by improving relations with Burgundy if they have not rivaled you. After which, set up your estates with privileges which go as follows. Clergy, religious state, oversight, sanctuaries, and diplomats. Nobility, primacy, and supremacy. And merchants, land of commerce, patronage, free enterprise, private trade fleets, and indebted to the burghers. Oh yes, you know I love debt, baby. Now, call the diet, choosing either papacy or taking a core if it's a choice, and seize your rightful land. Lest the estates gets ideas. Continue on with building to force limit on both army and navy, along with deleting trade ships. 6k mercs, 4k infantry, and 6 heavy ships should do. You will be fighting many wars back to back. You must be prepared to dominate them on the battlefield. Next, choose advisors. Morale or discipline if they're available for mill, and if they're not, give a level 1 the boot. Half price improve relations for Diplo, and half price stability for admin. Half price advisors are wonderfully competent minions. Never forget to be a ruler worthy of their service. Follow this with allying Scotland for a meat shield, and breaking alliance with Provence for future invasion opportunities. Go ahead and set all state edicts to manpower, so that your armies can have the fuel they need, and you may have the armies to conquer with. Gain military access and fleet basing rights in Naples. This is a special tool that we will use momentarily. Now, declare war on England, offering Scotland land for aid, and co-belligerate Portugal if they lack allies. Scotland will not be receiving the aforementioned land. Now, a friendly reminder. Do not do as your overlord did right here and forget to set rivals. You cannot set them at war. So, rip me. Now, for generals. Use Jean Dunois and Monarch or your heir for the Western Front. Your other army will have the Siege King and be heading to Byzantium. For this aforementioned goal, make sure to gain military access in Epirus as previously mentioned in the guide. Your strategy for the English war is to beat their ally of Portugal and capture the English continental territories, while letting your meat shield in Scotland die. Once your army is in position in Naples, start transferring to Epirus, declaring a no CB right before landing in Epirus proper. Now, if the Ottomans are not your rival, make sure to get mill access from them. It will make your war so much easier. Now, if the Ottomans declared war, which they normally will, just murk up in Constantinople before making peace. Get yourself a bunch of minions for hire, if you will. Now, in your Byzantine peace, take vassalization to gain yourself a new minion. And, if you can take a line to Athens, then do so and give it back once you're at peace again. Now prepare yourself, because while you were weakening and taking over Byzantium, other nations were declaring war on them. So now you must fight and win every single one of them. Your goal will be money to pay off your war debts, naturally. At least from the Ottomans. White peace for all the other foolish knaves. In the meantime, take Lisboa, max money, trade power, and war reps from Portugal. This is your opening move into Iberia. While retaking whatever the English retook from you, use a peekaboo strategy with your navy to gain maritime victory. After all, what's scarier than peekaboo? Peekaboo, I see you. Also, if Provence gets excommunicated, always jump on the opportunity while you have it. While the Catholic world views them as a heretic, hopefully they will not realize that you are the true heretic. After gaining naval dominance, send an army across the English Channel, for the English will learn your wrath. Now, take everything from Provence to release as a vassal post-war. We have some uses for them. Now, make peace with England for all your cores, Cornwall, trade, and as much money as you can get. Cornwall will be your landing point in future wars. Since their allies won't join in, I will go ahead and subjugate Brittany now. In your case, you will most likely wait till your troops are back on the continent.
Friendly PSA. Do not forget to pay off your debts. If you do, a swarm of toucans can and will kill you. You will also go bankrupt.
Also, missing footage, but vassalize and make Brittany a march. Yay, more minions. I got the succession unusually early this game. Not the best deal, but far better than not getting it at all. The only goal in the Austria War is just a white peace. When given an opportunity, post Shadow Kingdom, remember to take Milan as a union. It should be a fairly easy war, and you get your first opening move into Italy. Now, you'll notice I gave Provence an extra province, and bought off Avignon from the Pope with favors. Only give them enough to get 100 dev after Naples is under a PU under either Castile or Aragon. Now, this is a friendly reminder. Do remember to bow down before the Aeon Lord of Time. Do not mess with the toucans. They will go into attack mode. This has been Warnings from your Overlord. In this particular case, they are a union under a built-up Castile. The goal is free Provincian cores on Naples. If it doesn't happen naturally, you can always cripple them in a war, and Aragon will get around to it for you. Now, in your treaty, take all of the Provincian cores in Naples, and, if Castile is the Union master, go after provinces to get closer to the La Mancha gold mine. Otherwise, you will fight a separate war for it. After building up your forces on the Ottoman borders, with full combat with armies of 18-6, declare war on them for Byzantine cores. You can do this earlier if they never attacked Byzantium. Also, if you can, I would recommend getting Mamluks as an ally for this war. It will help to expedite the process of capturing all their land. Finally, make peace. Taking a peace deal like this, regaining Byzantine cores and Anatolian coastline, plus Uskup for Bulgaria and a way to gain the Kosovo gold mine. Now that I've equipped you with all these fun things, let me give you some suggestions for expansion paths and ideas. Naturally, continuing in on England, Iberia, Italy, the Balkans, and into the Middle East, but also it would be a decent idea to vassalize Portugal for free colonies. Another option is to ally the electors and steal the Holy Roman Empire. These are not mutually exclusive. And finally, for ideas. For your first four, I would go Diplo, Admin, Influence, and either defensive or quantity. If you have limits, then swap places on Influence and military idea. On the subject of government reforms, I prefer noble officers for the second centralized bureaucracy. Fairly abusable, though not as much so anymore, and autonomy is just good in general. Curtail privileges for the third due to admin tech cost. And finally, I personally prefer meritocratic to save some money on advisors. Now, I hope all ye minions enjoyed. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. Particularly, comment on what kind of guides you want to see in the future, what nations, etc., etc. And thank you so much for your patronage. Now join my army and go die in my wars.